El sistema de movimiento superficial Kelly es la herramienta definitiva para la óptima preparación de la cama de siembra, a un costo sensiblemente menor respecto de los métodos de nivelación tradicionales. Añade una sumatoria de beneficios agronómicos como el control de malezas sin uso de agroquímicos, la incorporación de los rastrojos al suelo y una descompactación de la capa superficial que acelera la germinación de las semillas. Todo esto sin afectar en absoluto la capilaridad del terreno. El implemento fue desarrollado por una familia de industriales australianos que son primeramente agricultores. Por ello, pensaron en las necesidades de los granjeros para obtener como resultado la rastra multipropósito.
The company was started, we run our own family farm. We're a multi-generational family farm, and 35 years ago we were trying to move toward no-till in our own cereal cropping operation. And we also needed, during the 80s, another enterprise on the farm to help support the high interest rates that we were suffering at the time. And my father and I, particularly my father, started an engineering business, which we then called Kelly Engineering. And we built initially some products to help us harvest field peas, to help elevate the field pea and feed them into the combine. At that stage we were increasing our cropping rotation, and the field pea for us was a legume or a pulse to introduce into a more intensive cropping rotation.
Su granja incluye la producción ganadera, lo que implica lidiar con el estiércol de los establos para sumarlos al suelo junto al rastrojo de los cultivos. Es por ello que en los años 90 William Kelly comenzó con el desarrollo de lo que es hoy la rastra de discos en forma de diamante, denominada multipropósito, ya que dejaba preparado el suelo para la pulverización y cosecha todo el año.
Subsequent to that, we developed then the notion that we should do less tillage. So no-till was starting to become popular in Australia during the 90s and around 2000. Modified or adapted the diamond harrow that we had then to focus more on how do we process the residue and how do we more effectively and efficiently incorporate that residue into the soil without doing tillage. And so that became sort of the genesis of the Kelly company today. The initial very simple blunt discs on chain links that rolled as a gang in a diamond would lay down the residue, break it open and allow the microbial activity and the moisture in and help degrade or decompose the stubble without doing any tillage or very little superficial surface tillage.
Asegura que sus clientes reconocieron inmediatamente esa ventaja del disco, que deja expuesta la maleza de raíz para que se seque en forma natural, y los llevó a modificar equipos convencionales para hacerlos versátiles a partir de la incorporación de este componente. Era hasta allí un negocio local y familiar que se expandía en conjunto con la comunidad, a la que servían para la construcción de equipos customizables que resolvían problemáticas comunes de su modelo de producción agrícola.
But after 2000, once we developed the diamond harrow and the stubble management system, the business really started to expand, and it was an opportunity that many farmers who were trying to adopt no-till needed some transitional opportunities or some transitional equipment to help them take the next step perhaps before some of the higher clearance or no-till planters became available, which they've subsequently done.
Kelly Tillage opera desde Australia Meridional. Se especializa en el diseño, la fabricación y distribución de equipos con cadena de discos para su uso en 36 países. Hacia los mercados de Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Bolivia y Brasil, la rastra multipropósito es producida y desarrollada por la empresa Georgie de la localidad de Fuentes, Santa Fe, identificada con la producción de equipos para la siembra directa, unidades con las que en alguna oportunidad ganó el único campeonato nacional de dicha práctica. La adopción del acero labranza en Australia se dio mayormente a partir del año 2000, alcanzando actualmente más del 60% de su superficie cultivable, áreas donde progresan igualmente un conjunto de malezas resistentes.
Herbicide resistance in Australia has meant that farmers have had to try and find complementary solutions to broaden out the selection pressure on weeds. And I understand here in Argentina that herbicide resistance is also a significant challenge. And we're seeing the adoption of tools like the Kelly chain, and particularly we have a relationship here with Georgie SA. So what we try and offer with the disc chain is it's not really about tillage, it's really about what can we do to help accelerate the decomposition and the incorporation of carbon into the soil. What can we do with no-till to help make it more sustainable by finding alternative methods of weed control. And it supplements herbicide use rather than replaces it, but there's some economic benefits that maybe once a year you can use the disc chain instead of a herbicide, and there's an economic benefit to doing that.
Las experiencias en Australia con el uso de rastra multipropósito demuestran similares beneficios a los que resaltan los técnicos y productores argentinos, respecto de la mínima remoción que realiza, pese a lo cual logra descalzar de raíz las malezas, sin afectar en absoluto la estructura del suelo y estimulando la germinación, al tiempo que se minimiza el uso de fitosanitarios. Clientes de Kelly que emplean la siembra directa en combinación con el paso de este implemento registraron, tras 5 o 6 años de uso, una merma importante en la demanda de herbicidas, hecho que mejora obviamente la relación con los ambientalistas.
So it was a really important tool. Now they were using that in conjunction with innovative tools like chaff or seed collection on the back of the combine, harvest weed seed destruction using rotary mills on the back of the combine. So it's not just about reducing the seed that's in the soil, it's about making sure you don't put more in with each pass of the combine.
Kelly asegura que no es solo una herramienta más, sino parte de un sistema completo de producción que resuelve problemas de manera integral, atentos a otros desafíos como la erosión de los suelos, por lo cual el uso de la rastra es variable de acuerdo a las condiciones del cultivo. Por ello es valiosa la interacción de ambas empresas, Kelly y Georgie, ya que suman experiencias que aceleran la evolución del producto para adaptarlo a las diferentes regiones, con el soporte de 2 calificados grupos de ingeniería.
This is my 4th visit to Argentina. I've been very privileged to have been toured around, well, from north to south over this enormous and very lovely country. What I found in the farmers in Argentina, I see in places like Australia or in South Africa, where farmers here seem to be very innovative, they seem to be very self-sufficient, really good at identifying a problem and finding a solution. What I kind of find in the Northern Hemisphere is that farmers have learn to expect a high level of service from, a big dealership network and so on. In the Southern Hemisphere, we don't seem to have that so much, and I've grown up with that as a farmer for 20 years in Australia, and to find that here in Argentina was heartwarming and meant we could have some, really genuinely interesting conversations and learn from each other's challenges.